So we are here at Unity Radio. We was late, but it really didn't matter. It really didn't matter. Oh, sick! Look at that. You got. Well, isn't this a nice office? Wouldn't you love to work at office like this? They got flipping random MIDI keyboard here. Look, they got piano. Come, let me play. Quick thing.
No, don't play a quick thing.
Quick thing, man.
Where's the toilet?
You need to pass. What's this? Oh, it's not turned on.
Leave it then.
It's just there. Like, why is it there for? Like, what's the point?
Because that's what they do in the office. Look at their keyboard. It's just screen. Much better than.
Yeah, but they probably don't get paid that much.
Yeah, they do. They won't get paid that much.
Oh, we're trapped.
Doesn't like money, so I'm trapped with stuffy people.
Go.
Not with stuffy people because I like money. I'm stuck.
Where's the lights?
Why isn't it coming?
Like an African influence with like the drums and the tribal kind of sound.
Yeah.
And so I made the beat for that, and then we were just sitting around one day. I was playing it to Lebo, and then she just dropped like a little melody, like a nice little harmony. I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Let's run with it.
In terms of the writing, we did it sort of Ryan Leslie style, where you kind of start with a gibberish type of vibe, and you just kind of vibe on the beat and just do a freestyle. So I did a freestyle, and then we just kind of put the freestyle into words, pick the melodies of the freestyle that we like, and put words on it, and yeah, that was that. We recorded the demo and then came studio and just did the full track. But the inspiration of the track came from a friend of mine who is in a relationship currently, but I feel like the relationship's not giving her much, and I feel like I was trying to kind of put out what I feel like she feels at times when she's going through the down times of the relationship.
That's so interesting. So you're writing how you feel about what she's going through.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's something I've never heard before. I haven't heard someone drop it like that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, just in terms sonically, like, how would you guys describe your sound? If you like, do you put it under a genre, or because for me there's so many different soundscapes in there. To me, it's very ambient. It's like housey. It's very four to the floor driven. Is there something that you guys like say like, no, this is what we are, or do you feel like you're in the realms of we just make music?
For me, everything's just experimental, to be honest. Like, I don't sit down and say I want to make this kind of genre or anything. I just literally draw from all my experiences, all my musical experience, and I kind of just merge it into one melting pot, and that's what I want my music to be. I want it to be an expression of what I like, what I've experienced, what I've come from, and I want that to merge into one, and hopefully it creates something that's a bit unique, but it also allows people to resonate with like the roots, whether they find like a bit of house in there, or a bit of hip hop or R&B influences. I kind of just want to merge it all together and see what comes out, to be honest. Because I don't want to like pin myself down to a particular genre, because as a musician you always want to constantly evolve and grow.
So talking about taste, you guys have put together a guest mix for us today, and I think we're going to get into that first and then come back and talk a little bit more before we play the single for you. Are we cool to jump into that, and then maybe we get a little bit of more of an understanding of where this sound comes from?
Oh yeah.
Sure, yeah. Sure. Let's do it.
Let's play that right now.
Natural.
start from the beginning. Like every other singer, I've been singing since I was like a toddler.
Hairbrush in the mirror.
You know, like the usual. So I've been singing forever, pretty much. Never really got someone like a vocal coach or something to like kind of teach me, show me techniques, you know, and when it's just like natural, you don't really have.
How do you feel about that? Because I'm like majorly against vocal coaches.
Are you?
Yeah.
No, because I got a vocal coach once, and she made me discover techniques and parts of my voice I didn't know I had. So I think it's very useful in that sense. But in this age we live in the YouTube age, there is so much you can get online and teach yourself and sort of improve yourself. And you can, the more you do it, the more you see, oh gosh, I can now, you know, I've learned better control when I'm doing this. I can reach these notes. I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of just went for it. 2010, when it was the World Cup in South Africa, I went for 3.5 months, and sort of viewed how they consume house music in South Africa, and it's out of this world. It's amazing.
And that's where you're from, by the way.
Yeah. I'm from South Africa originally, but I was more into R&B back in the day. But when I went to South Africa in 2010, and I just like was around sort of my uncle's tavern like every weekend and seeing house music being consumed in the way that it was all the time, I was like, I need to sing house music, you know. So then I started doing house vocals. Got in touch with one of my friends over here in the UK. I was like, do you know any house producers? Got me in touch with a few, DJ Toots from Manchester being one of them. We did tracks together, did tracks with a lot of other house producers and stuff, and that's how I started kind of working with all these other international house producers, i.e. Rancido from the Netherlands, Rosario from Portugal and Angola, Soultronics from South Africa, African Roots from South Africa, like all these sort of amazing producers that I just started to work with.
I kind of remember your transition actually, because I think did we first meet when we were doing Junior Jessman's records, like some choruses on those tracks. That was a very long time ago.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even remember that. That was so long ago. I think I was a teenager then.
Yeah, it was a really long time ago. But I remember the transition into house music. I remember it creeping in for sure. So with both of you, like actually, before I get to this one, like let's swing that question full circle. Like Kwesi, where did the production side come from? What first struck you into wanting to make records, and what was the approach to it?
Oh, for me, like I've known from a young age that I've always just wanted to be in like music production, like making some kind of music. That's just like I've got a lot of family that I've, you know, done quite a lot in music, and I guess I just had, like, even growing up, like my parents, they just used to blare music out on Sundays, cleaning the house, cooking and all of that. So I kind of grew up in them vibes, and I always just connected with like what melodies and chords and drums could do to someone's mood and how it can capture a moment and emotion. So that really kind of like clicked with me. So it was like when I was probably like 14, I got my brother, my older brother Christian, shout out Christian, I know you're listening now, boy. I got him to download Acid Pro. Right?
That's by Sony.
I don't even know. I was too young, so I don't even know who it was by. I just had this. Like, Christian got that for me.
That was like one of the first pieces of software, like my paps showed me. Where he was trying to teach me like programming and coding. And then like I got a guitar, and he was like, oh, maybe I should give him this instead. So I got that, and then like I made the Casualty theme tune on it. It recreated it. The TV show.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, do you know what? I might have some talent in this.
That's crazy.
And we had a piano downstairs, so me and my brothers, we used to play piano, but I wasn't really feeling the method, because I wanted to do like soulful stuff. I've always just been into soul. Like my dad, his music, he like had a bag of like vinyls, just playing like Earth, Wind and Fire.
That's the same as my mother.
Exactly so I kind of grew up with them sounds, and I really resonated with them sounds. So I then got Fruity Loops, and this is when I was around 16, 15, and this is when grime was really like the thing. So I was making, like, I had like a little crew in my school where it was like a little what do you call it? I don't know, like a little band, not band, because like, but like a little MC, like like a little collective. Like everyone, there was like MCs and rappers and that. I gave a go at that, but I was awful. Like I just couldn't do it. My name then was KO Kid.
Do you remember those conversations, like in the playground, everyone choosing their names for the crew, like what the names was?
Yeah, they had some meaning in it. Like I didn't KO anyone, but I just had a hefty punch in it, so that people were just a bit afraid of that. But yeah, like I tried it. I still remember the first bar that I wrote. I'm not gonna recite it now because it's awful.
Don't worry, I won't ask you to.
Yeah.
But next time when you when you come play the next single, I'm gonna remember that.
I might do a mashup, innit? But yeah, so then I got Fruity Loops. I don't know if it was my brother again that got it for me, but I got Fruity Loops and I started producing, making like grime beats for like my mates to spit on and talk about all sorts of stuff, like you know how grime is. But then I kind of just concentrated on my studies after a while and forgot about music. So I've only been kind of getting back into it for the past 4 or 5 years, I'll say. Yeah. But I met Lebo about 3 years ago, and then obviously she's from South Africa, so she took me. I've been twice. But three times. Yeah, I've been 3 times now. But like she said,
you know, when a man is so well travelled that he forgets how many times he's
it feels like home, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I'm envious, man.
But yeah, so it was in 2018, 2019 where like I really experienced the way like South Africans consume house music. Yeah. And I was like, this is it. Like it had everything that I resonated with music. So it had like the nice soulful chords. Yeah. And it had like these energetic African drums. Yeah. And like just what they sing about, I can't understand it half the time. But like when Lebo translates it for me, it's like, yo, these people are like making pure music like in this real form. So I was like, I need to get on that, man. Like I need to start making that kind of music because it kind of just spoke to my heart.
The language sounds beautiful as well, doesn't it? Across like those soulful chords, like the minor sevenths and the major sevenths, and stuff like that. Yeah. Like the language sounds like it's made to go over stuff like that. But like, I mean, the rhythm and the bass as well and everything. Like, you know, I've had like the privilege of looking at 2 of you guys' sessions now, and you know, one thing that I said to you initially is like, look, like, I'm not like deeply rooted in 4 to the floor music, but even just the last 2 times we've been editing, I've learned so much about space in records, and that's something that I don't feel like we get now in pop culture. So yeah, it's like production wise, how did it feel listening to like a grime record, going like from programming that sort of stuff, or messing around with like reprogramming the Casualty theme tune to how you've been able to pull off this beautiful sound? Like, was that a big learning curve for you?
No, not really. Like because I would say I've been producing house for about a year now, but prior to that I've been trying to make anything that's remotely soulful. So like I don't know, like kind of similar to like K-Tronada, that kind of stuff. I was trying to make that, so it's kind of easy to transition that kind of sonic into South African house because they're connected so well. And that's kind of part of what I want to do with my music as well. I want to just connect all these sounds. Like that's because you know, music is a language. And I feel like if we can just all connect it together and just like we can all be in one room listening to house, grime, whatever. There's a common connection in between all musical genres, and that's really what I want to kind of find. I want to kind of find a way to just connect them all and just make them one. Do you know what I mean? It sounds a bit hippie, but
I think like, you know, Dubsy and I were talking off air earlier about the fact that, you know, like everything that sounds 80s is remotely like connected and recognizable because essentially everybody all had the same keyboards, the same drum machines, the same synthesizers, the same instruments, and we're just repeating that over and over again. So like it is something that's intertwined, I believe. But so what's the journey been like for you so far musically? Like what do you feel like your achievements are, and where do you feel like you're going from here?
Do you wanna go with that one?
You got that?
Yeah, you got it. Go.
I feel like it's been a lot of learning for me personally, and I feel like I've kind of the creative side, I feel like okay, I'm good. It's still a massive learning curve on the business side of it. So I feel like it's just about growing in both of those sides right now, and I think that's what we're trying to do massively from now going forward. You know, so that we can actually live doing what we love. You know what I mean?
And are you guys gonna continue to like brand this all together? Do you feel like is it an EP you're working on now? Like, are we gonna hear tons more from you together?
Yeah, we've got an EP. Hopefully that we should have out before this summer.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to gather all these records that we can, and just put them into something that sounds, you know, good to listen to all in one. But yeah. So
let's go back to the new single that's currently out now on all streaming platforms called For You. Earlier you were talking about the writing process. Can we delve a little bit more into that, because I found that statement so interesting, and like it's the first time I've heard like someone like Demar's here to check me. Shout out Dems, still in the building every week with me. Would this be third person writing?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Would this be third person writing?
I wasn't paying attention, sorry.
So if we were in the context of somebody writing about what somebody else they know is going through, would that be like third person writing?
Kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Although I've written it as if it's coming from myself. I think it is third person writing. I just sort of tried to come out of my own body, go into hers and say maybe what she would like to say, or what she is feeling, just voice what she is feeling, or what I think she's feeling anyway, even though she might not admit it. But yeah.
And when you started to demo all this stuff, do you guys constantly work together? Like, do you sit down and write together, or does someone start programming and then maybe hand it over and live with it for a minute, or do you kind of like work all at the same time?
But a bit of both. Yeah, sometimes we work together, sometimes we just work on our own, because like I do enjoy writing by myself in my own sort of space, just by myself, no one around, so that if I do or create anything that sounds foolish, I'm the only one to experience it. But I found that it really helps to work with someone else, because you don't hear how it's coming off from a different perspective. So you can get different perspectives working with someone else. So at times I'll work together, I'll work by myself and then get him in, and we'll sort of go on together.
I've started to feel like the older that I've got, like the less I want to sit down and listen to something on loop for like 4 hours in that writing mood. Like now it's like, you know what, this is like, if I can't think of that line or that melody or that drum pattern, like take a walk, take a breather, something like that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, well listen, do you guys want to introduce your single, tell us where we can find you both, and where to get the single, which is out now, called For You?
Oh yeah, so this is our new single, came out yesterday, and it is available on all streaming platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Deezer Music, Napstar, is that still around? I don't know.
Apple Music,
Apple Music, iMusic, all the musics, everything. Go get that. That's For You. Quessy As I Am, artistlebo. Go stream it right now. And yeah, got anything you want to say about that track, Lebo?
No, that's next right now. So I hope you enjoy the single. Make sure you stream it. Make sure you download and share, like, and all that.
Oh yeah, Instagrams and that. So we got mine. Mine is just As I Am on Instagram. You can find me there. And Lebo.
And mine is artistlebo. That's Lebo.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Unity Radio, the real sound of the city. You're listening to Ali Kareem. Let's play this record right now. guest mix for like another time.
Okay.
Because like I want to be able to play it in full really. But I think maybe it would be best put in another context, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah.
How much? Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, how long is it?
About 18 minutes.
18. Oh no,